stop scrolling, go outside. So recently I have been struggling a lot with social media addiction, right? Spending too much time on my phone, scrolling, looking at stupid garbage on YouTube, right? And not being fully present in the real world around me. And that has had some, honestly pretty clear effects on my mood and my mental health, and how much enjoyment I actually get from the real world. Because ever since I've recently started detoxing away from social media, trying to spend less time on it, and I've realized that I end up finding more pleasure, more enjoyment from the natural world the less time I spend on my phone. Because the thing is, cell phones and content and hyper edited YouTube videos and scrolling on TikTok or whatever you do can really mess up your dopamine, can really mess up how your mind perceives pleasure, and what sort of stimulus that your brain needs to feel enjoyment from looking at stuff and looking at the world around you. Because you can honestly kind of tell the difference between a super social media addicted person and a not super social media addicted person. Because a super social media addicted person, someone who spends hours and hours a day on their phone, wakes up, immediately starts scrolling, stays super late scrolling, any free moment in their life they're on their phone. Those kind of people often, if you take them somewhere beautiful, like a beautiful, honestly not even that like extravagant, just like the woods, they're gonna go in there and they're gonna go, oh, that's neat, it's a tree, and not be super interested. But if you take someone who's not very addicted to social media into a place like this, they're gonna think, wow, like, look at how beautiful this is. Look at the look at how the moss highlights the tree bark, or just silly stuff like that. And actually appreciate the world around them more. And I started thinking about that more and more because I have several friends who my brother has a friend who's super addicted to social media. I have a friend who's super addicted to social media. I think everyone has that one friend who really just can't get off their phone. And holy cow, look at this cat. It's raining a little bit, and he's getting like scared of the rain, and so he jumps up in a tree thinking he's gonna be drier there or something. Yeah, but it's things like that, right? Where if I was spending all day, all night on my phone, my mind wouldn't register that as very entertaining, right? My mind's ability to find entertainment from little things around me gets sapped. Your brain loses its ability to stimulate itself when you're overstimulating it constantly with artificial dopamine, like content and social media and hyper edited YouTube videos and scrolling on TikTok, doing all these ridiculous dopamine things, ends up ruining your mind's ability to find enjoyment from less dopamine filled things, and often healthier things, right? You are literally making it so your mind is worse at making itself happy. You are training your brain to need stimulation to feel enjoyment, right? That's what you're doing when you're scrolling on social media constantly. And that's what I've been doing, scrolling on social media constantly. It's not been good for me, and that's why I'm committing myself to undoing the damage that social media has done to my mind, right? Because for a long time I was free, right? For a long time I had no social media addiction, but for whatever reason, recently I've been struggling with that a lot. And like I said before, I've noticed a difference. I have been finding less enjoyment from smaller things around me, from hanging out with people. I've been finding less enjoyment from that. I've been finding less enjoyment from talking to people, from nature, from the world around me, right? Because like little things like this, little things like, look at how the moss like covers the ground here and nowhere else it covers. It's kind of weird. Like little things like that used to not give me much enjoyment, but since recently I've been combating this social media addiction, recently I've been trying to undo the damage, And it's really like been improving. I'm noticing things more. I'm enjoying the world around me more. I'm becoming mentally healthier. And that's the point of this channel of Wildman, right? The point of this channel is to get people more interested in nature, to get people more interested in natural self-improvement. And that's what, because that has changed my life. Look, like spending time in God's creation, spending time in the real world instead of, in a city, just in my room all day, inside all day, not spending time outdoors, not speaking to real people, just being a goon, playing video games and watching YouTube videos all day. That used to be my life. Right? I didn't live in a city, but I lived here. But I would spend most of my time indoors, overstimulating my brain, playing video games, watching YouTube, just really destroying my life, not living the way I was supposed to live. And then, I got into self-improvement, I started going to the gym, I started trying to take my health more seriously. And because I was taking my physical health more seriously, I decided, hey, why don't I take my mental health more seriously? And I started to spend more time outdoors. I started to read, to journal, to meditate, the bugs are horrible. To look around and see the world around me and to spend less time on social media, on my phone. And I ended up realizing, wow, people, like how did I live like this for so long? How are people still living like this? How are people still living like this? How is it possible that we live in a world where most people don't actually spend time in it, right? Most people aren't present in the real world. Most people are hiding in their rooms, not actually seeing what's around them, right? Because I had a friend actually who, and I was really, it just really bummed me out, and it bugged me for a while, and it bothered me, and I was wondering why it bothered me so much, and I realized it was the opposite of what I tried to do. So when I got back to school last year, shoot, that was already a year ago. Jeez, time's flying by. But when it was our first day of school, and the teacher was going around like, okay, what'd you guys do this summer, right? And like say one thing you did this summer. And everyone was saying like, oh, I went to Yellowstone National Park, or oh, I went to the lake, oh, I went to Florida, or wherever, like going around, going on saying what vacations they did. And this one kid, I won't say his name, and he's a really nice guy. I really like this guy. He's not like, a bad person or anything, but this just really bothered me, and it made me sad. And he said, I didn't leave my room much, but the highlight of my summer, like because the question was, how did you see God this summer? And, this guy goes, I witnessed the glory of God when I looked out my window and I saw a purple tree. And I know kind of what tree he might be talking about. There's a redbud tree that grows near my house, and sometimes it has like purplish colored bark. But like that just blew my mind that everyone has a glory of God moment in their life. And his was looking out his window for the first time all summer. And that really made me sad that he hadn't really done much. He hadn't done much with his life. He spent most of his time in his room. And I realized that he's not the only one like that. A lot of people are like that, not leaving their room much. And when they actually go outside for the first time, it's like the highlight of their life, because they actually see the greatness of the world around them that's better than any stimulation ever could be. And just thinking about it, I realized that was pretty similar to how my life was for a long time. Is that I didn't leave my room much. I didn't go outside much. Even though I live in this beautiful place, right? I didn't spend much time out here. Most of my day was indoors. There were days where I never saw the sun. And now I understand that seeing sunlight every day is very important for your mental health, and I couldn't imagine going a whole day without seeing the sun. But that was my life for a very long time, and naturally, my as I said a million times to you already, that was reflected in my mental health. And I'm sure it's reflected in this person's mental health in some way, shape, or form. So I know this video is just kind of a big rant, but what I'm trying to get at here, if you've made it this far in the video, that is, what I'm trying to get at is that don't overlook simple habits like going outside every day. Don't overlook simple habits like putting your phone down while you eat instead of watching YouTube videos while you eat food or something, like every now and then, right? Don't overlook those habits, because those small changes can have drastic effects, right? Those small little habits, those small decisions you can make of, hey, while I'm watching this movie, when the ads come on, because half the subscription services in the world now have ads, which is really annoying. Like, bro, I'm paying money to watch movies on your thing. Why are you putting an ad through it when I'm already paying? But whatever. But like when a commercial comes on, maybe this time don't get your phone out and start scrolling, right? Maybe this time just space out and just think about the world around you, right? Maybe just sit there and be present in the moment, right? Believe me, it's worth it. Believe me, these little things actually do have matter and actually will change your life. And next thing you know, you're going to be spending, your screen time's going to be nice, super low. Your mental health's going to be super low. Your presence is going to be super great. But it's these little changes, these little moments, these little decisions in your life that cascade into actually building a relationship with the world around you that you're happy about. That's all I got for today. May God bless you and stay wild.